Hi, everybody. This is Gene Martinson, and welcome to the Garrett Williams pregame show. And with me right now, the head coach of the Hilltoppers, Garrett Williams. And so, Garrett, very, very frustrating game last week between the penalties and miscues. And you had talked about that before, the last time we talked, that the miscues were killing you guys. And, Jesus, that game was we were in that ball game for 3 quarters. It was anybody's ball game. In fact, we should have gone in at half up 14-3. Yep. And another, crazy turnover.
Well, once again, you want to make sure that you keep the control in your hands. And we did. We just several times, just not finishing when we need to. Got on the 1 yard line and got a holding penalty that backed us up. Miss a block, throw an interception on the I think 2 plays later. So you go from getting a touchdown called back because we were in the end zone to getting a turnover. But you're right. We were 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, it's a 14-16 ball game.
Exactly.
With 2 touchdowns that have been called back. We had 2 touchdowns called back at that point, and it's still 14-16. And once again the turnovers will kill you. We lost. Had a hit out of bounds that took out our starting quarterback. Big T. Nieto was down, playing pretty limited with a sprained knee, so didn't play a whole lot the second half. And had some kids come in, and Nico Garcia came in, did a great job at running back. Kyle Evenhuss came in, our sophomore quarterback, and really did a pretty good job, both of them.
Yes, he did.
Kyle does a great job. He throws the ball well. He's still kind of learning the ins and outs of everything about just when to take what's given. Our offense is kind of based on a lot of the, options and RPOs, the run pass options. Everything we have has a couple options built into it. And so, we're trying to get those guys, even Zach, to, take advantage of all those options that you're given. But Kyle did a great job of just coming in and throwing the ball. He had 130 yards passing, 28 yards passing, something like that. Stidham had 130 something yards passing. It just really did a great job, especially that third quarter. It did a great job moving the ball. I'll tell you what, Kenny Suazo, our little slot receiver, has had 3 just phenomenal games for us. And Kyle just kept finding Kenny in the middle of the field. We were running some routes into the middle of the field because they were kind of bailing out deep with their safeties. And, he just did a great job and just kept finding Kenny in the middle. But once again, we had, about the end of the middle of the fourth quarter, we get backed up. We do a good job, hold them on defense, do a good job, get the ball from them. Kyle got a little bit of pressure, and we ended up throwing a pick 6 right there on the goal line. So they score, they go up, kick off, and the very next play, we run option, which has been one of our best plays so far. They kind of string it out, and we bounce one off Nico right on the sideline. Probably should just eaten it and just played the next play, but we ended up getting a fumble right there, and then they go down and score on us. So that right there, just those two plays right at about the middle of the fourth quarter, just wheels fell off. You get 2 turnovers on your own end that result in 2 scores when you're in it, and it just kind of hit us. And and like I said, up until that point, had done pretty good. Had 2 touchdowns already called back. But regardless, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're, we talked to our guys the last 2 weeks about, we got to finish in the red zone. We got to finish on the goal line, and execute. So we don't get in those situations. The last 2 weeks have been stuffed, like 4th and 1, and had a penalty that put us behind the chains at that point. That's just something you can't do. The kids did it. They play hard. They are playing good. They're moving the ball. They're playing defense like crazy. We just got to make sure to keep it out of do what we need to do to keep it out of the refs' hands, because if we give them an opportunity to throw a flag on us, right now we're gonna get one, right? So it's just the way it is, and they're playing hard, man. These kids are playing hard. They're playing good. We're giving ourselves opportunities, but we're also kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, which is just something you don't want to do.
Well, there was yellow all over the field for most of the game, and so. But the one thing that you really hate to see is that when you're ready for halftime, and then Mick Matuzak, the trainer, comes around with his little buggy, and he loads up Zach Stidham and T. Nieto and Wes Frazier, all in his little cart, to take them to the training room there in the field house.
All in about 2 series. So man, those are hard things to keep fighting through. But those kids, like I said, those kids came in and did a good job. It's just gotta finish. That
third quarter, when Kyle came in to take over as quarterback, and then we scored. Got that one drive. We scored 2 plays.
Yep.
That beautiful run by Nico Garcia, and then a 22-yard perfect pass by Kyle into the end zone. And
to Nico. That was a good drive.
So yeah, it was a great drive, and Kyle, he did a really good job at quarterback. I thought his whole second half. It's just that he just made some decisions he shouldn't have, which is going to happen. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Of course, that pick 6 was just a lucky fluke, and they threw the ball, and that Elijah Rodriguez, he just happened to be right there, and I couldn't believe that Elijah had two interceptions, but that one was that pick 6 was just a gimme. I mean, we were backed up in the end zone. I think we're on the 10-yard line. Yeah.
Got a little bit of pressure, and Kyle does a great job of just keeping plays alive and extending them because he's a good athlete. And kind of rolled out to his right. We were on Tripp's left, so the only guy he had over there was Malachi. Malachi just kind of sat down in open void. He's like, well, those guys trust, especially those young guys. He trusts Malachi. Malachi's had a couple pretty good games, and did kind of the same thing at the end. We had another interception right at the end of the 4th quarter that cost again because he trusts Malachi to go fight for one, and he put it up in the end zone right into about 3 other guys, and they came down with it. And kind of, we're just trying to get him to the point where he understands, hey. I'm not just gonna hey, here's Malachi, I'm just gonna put one up to him. Read the play, read the coverages, take your time, because you're good enough athlete. If it's not there, you're good enough athlete to extend the play if you need to, and then come back to stuff. So, he's worked hard at that. The last couple weeks, has done a good job coming in, and he's gonna do a good job. That kid can throw the ball. He puts it on the money. We just got to get him to take his time, read the play, read what's called, take the options that are presented to him, and just go. because I mean, like I said, he's a sophomore. He's gonna push it, and at that point, as a sophomore, I want him to push the pace. I want him to, be an athlete, go make plays, and he's gonna make some mistakes. That's okay. We just want him to be, hey, don't dwell on that. You're just sophomore. Just learn from it. Just move on, because he's a great athlete and he's going to do a lot for us. So.
Well, I was very impressed with it. It was a very inauspicious start for you guys. You start off and we kick off to them because they won the toss and deferred. So we kick off to them, and then, they kick off to us. And so, we're kind of deep on our own territory, but Zach Stidham was a quarterback at the time, and at first, both series, the first two series, it looked like Zach was kind of nervous but he was rushing things a lot. And so we went 3 and out, and then did not have a very good punt. And then they ended up, they just zoomed down into the red zone. And I thought, oh, God, here we go. And then the defense just came up and just came to life, forced a field goal, which they got. And then the next series, they kicked off again, and it was the exact same thing again. We had 3 and out, not a very good punt, but this time we held them. So, they had 2 golden opportunities to really put that game away in a hurry.
Yeah.
But the defense said no way and stopped them. So I was very, very impressed with that, because I thought at the beginning, like, oh my God, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But,
well, and that's the deal. I mean, our focus, and that's been the focus this week, once again, protect the ball, no turnovers, and finish in the red zone. Execute in the red zone. So, believe me, we have spent a lot of time inside that 20-yard line during practice this week and last week, just practicing on finishing in the red zone. Our guys do a pretty good job moving it in the open field. We got athletes that can, that can move the ball in the open field. It just gets down to, when it's time to punch it in, you gotta, buckle down and punch it in. So that's, without giving yourself a hold or doing something that you just don't need to do.
Well, this afternoon, you got another tough one. You're going to go up against St. Michael's, and here at St. Michael's. And so the St. Michael's, of course, coming off of a big victory last week over Santa Fe. Of course, they really played that up in the New Mexican, but it turned out, Santa Fe is just not doing very well at all. And St. Michael's had no trouble with them at all. And so it's going to be interesting. Marcus Leyva, their running back, he scored 4 touchdowns. Zach Martinez was their quarterback, and he and Jake Katko. Jake Katko is, by the way, is my son-in-law is Mike Katko. And he broadcast with me before, and he does the MCs at the Hall of Fame. So, but that's his nephew.
Yep.
So. Anyway, they've been jockeying quarterbacks back and forth between Zach Martinez and between Katko to see who's going to get the job, and so they put together a pretty good attack last week, but they really it was just no contest from the beginning.
No, they're a pretty typical St. Mike's football team. They're physical. They're physical up front, have a good offensive line. And just play solid football. They're gonna run the ball, a lot of counter power type run game, and then play action, pass, boot passes to kind of try to keep you off balance a little bit. And so that's been their MO for a long time. With Coach Fernandez. So very typical. Smash mouth, hard nose, St. Mike's team. And, the kids on our team, we played these guys a lot they grow up playing them in middle school and JV, and so we've seen these guys a lot. They run the same defense that they've run for years. They're gonna man up and try to control you up front. With us, especially now, we're gonna have Teague back. We're gonna have Stidham back. Those guys are healthy this week. We've kind of come off. We've had a bunch of guys sick here and there. I don't know what's going through town, but or school. We've had a bunch of guys, but we've had a bunch of guys back the last few days. Got those guys who were kind of banged up back. So it's going to be it's going to be a good game. We got our guys back. They got their guys. It'll be a good game, just like last year. I think it's going to be a hard-nosed game. Everybody trying to, with good run games, or we can kind of get established. And, we got, like I said, we got kids like, like Kenny Swazzle, Jorgensen, out on the perimeter that can really get some things done on offense. But I think defensively, we match up pretty good with these guys.
Well, last year that was really a hard-nosed, hard-fought battle.
It was.
And a very, very good ball game. Joey Fernandez, he lost his start. He stopped his QB1 right off the bat in the season. But he had 3 more quarterbacks, young kids. So he just kept jockeying all 3 of them. He kept rotating every time a few plays in the next series come out, and there'd be a new quarterback. And so the thing I thought was interesting with Joey was that he kept jostling quarterbacks. But the thing is that it seemed like every time they came out in almost a different set every time they came out of the huddle. So he likes to mix it up a lot. And so, but now it's come back to 2 quarterbacks. And from the way it sounded, I would expect Zach Martinez to start because he engineered that last drive against Capital where they won the ball game right at the end of the ball game, and then he had a really good game last week.
Yeah,
of course,
he played the majority of the game last week, so
yes.
That's kind of what we're expecting.
Yeah, so that's what should be too. And then you're talking about being healthy, and so Teague and Zach are okay, and Wes Fraser.
Wes still kind of dealing with it with his ankle. Teague's feeling better. Stidham, they've worked out the last 2 days and have done pretty well. So, we're hoping everybody just stays healthy. If we can just stay healthy and just, like I said, take care of the ball. We've talked all week about just doing things, that we can just take care of the ball, make good kind of control our passing game, take shots when we need them, but just work, just control the ball, take care of ourselves, and do what we need to do. And if we do that, we're going to be okay. It will turn this thing into a good game.
So the running back Marcus Leyva, he had a really good game against Santa Fe, but so what? Do you expect any problems with Leyva this afternoon, or? He hasn't had a big breakout game until last week.
Yeah. He's a tough kid, but I think we just gotta control that run game, and that's what we do. That's what we do best right now is controlling the run game with our up front guys and our linebackers, because those are that's kind of the core of our D right now. So it'll be good. We just, like I said, we got to make sure we don't. I think as long as we don't make turnovers, I think we're gonna be all right.
So you're gonna be starting Zach at the quarterback?
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back playing Q. We'll play both those guys though, I'm sure. Just trying to keep him healthy. For the rest of the season. So we'll just see how it goes. But right now he's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it's a shame in that ball game too that we lost Teak so early. You know,
yeah, shoot, when you got a guy like that, man, that hurts.
oh yeah, big strong running back like Teak.
That hurts.
And so next thing you know, because we noticed, of course, it was obvious, of course, but you know, Nico came in for Teak, and then, which was at first, you know, we thought, well, it was a normal substitution, but then it was obvious that Teak was not coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just Nico. So we thought, well, obviously there's something wrong with Teak,
Yeah.
and we were hoping. And then when they came back out for the second half, Zeke came out, Teak came out with Wes Fraser. We didn't see him come out, but we thought, well, there's Zeke and Teak, so yeah, I mean Zach and Teak, and so we thought, well, it'll be interesting to see if they're going to play, but of course they just came back as spectators in the second half. So it's a bummer when you go into a ball game like that and you got a good combination of quarterback, running back, and then both of them go down. That's bad, you know.
That's tough, man. Yeah, I mean, that's tough for anybody. But you know, we wanted to make sure those guys are healthy. You know, we need those guys coming up, especially in districts. So just want to make sure, you know, like I said, we got guys that we can roll. So, you know, we just want to make sure those guys are doing what they need to do and take care of everybody and roll the guys that we can, and you know, get those young dudes prepped a little bit and give them some shots. So, you know, they did a good job. You know, it's just make sure we don't turn that ball over.
Yeah, that was a big thing too. Is that you even talking before we talked about? You said to, you know, shoot yourself in the foot, and I even made the comment that we're beginning to run out of toes here. So, you know, and it's just a shame because without those miscues, you know, we would have been in that ball game right down to the very end.
Oh yeah, you know, like I said, we, you know, got, you know, one called back on the one, got a big pass from Kenny that he broke, called back, and you know, there's two right there that I thought we should have had regardless, but you know, gotta come back from those.
Well, the one thing that really frustrated me was that they were throwing the flag like crazy, and then I think it was Malachi got tangled up with one of the Capitol defenders at the secondary, and they got tangled up, and I think it was Malachi, I believe. He was on his knees, and a Capitol player popped him. I mean, he popped him, and the referee looking right at it. He took a swing at him.
We missed that. You know, Zach took a shot on the sideline. He kind of pulled up, took a shot on the sideline. You know, we put him out. And that's, you know, that's I don't know what you do about that. You know, we send film in. They can see that kind of stuff on the film, but you know, you just want to make sure, protect your dudes, take care of your guys.
When they're throwing flags like that, then they miss a call like that, I couldn't believe it. But well, anyway, so the business of hand today is St. Michael's.
That's right.
And so I want to wish you all the luck, and should be a good afternoon for football, and we're really looking forward to it. We had a great game last week, and so if you guys put everything together, I think we're going to do just fine.
I do too, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, Garrett. Well, thanks for coming over and chatting with us. Appreciate it. This is Gene Martinson. Been talking with head coach Garrett Williams, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's going to be Los Alamos High School football versus the St. Michael Horsemen, an old rival from way back. Bye-bye, everybody. Awesome.
Greetings, Hilltoppers. I'm Brian DeAndrea of TechSource Incorporated. We are a science and engineering consultancy headquartered in Los Alamos, and for over 20 years have been providing the hard-won knowledge and skills from this community to organizations around the nation. It is our pleasure to support Los Alamos and Hilltopper sports. Good luck and have fun. Go Hilltoppers!
Join the University of New Mexico Los Alamos for the exceptional education. Join us for the small class sizes. Join us for the quality faculty and staff who are dedicated to your success. Whatever your reason for joining us, start here, go anywhere. Go Hilltoppers!
We understand the challenge of explaining to kids that money doesn't grow on trees. At Los Alamos Schools Credit Union, we have all of the tools you need for your kids to learn good financial habits. We offer a free student checking account with debit card, 24/7 online banking, and great member service to help you and your family's finances stay on track. And right now, we're offering a back-to-school bonus deposit with every new student checking account open before October 1st. Grow with us at Los Alamos Schools Credit Union for people, not profit.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Brother Abden Field here in Santa Fe and St. Michael's High School. And this afternoon, it will be the Los Alamos High School Hilltoppers traveling down here to Santa Fe to take on the Horsemen, an old rival for Los Alamos. Used to be in our district, in and out, but of course haven't been for a while. We're a different class now. But anyway, the two teams still have this great rivalry, and coming into this ball game, the Hilltoppers, after winning their first games handily, they struggled against Taos a little, and then of course they went up against the Capital last week, and well, it was a really close game for 3 quarters, but then that was that. So it's coming into this ball game tonight. It's going to be this afternoon, actually, on a beautiful fall afternoon here in Santa Fe. This is Gene Mortensen, along with my good buddy Mike Mays. And we'll be bringing you this ball game here as the Hilltoppers, they say, are 1-2, and they say St. Michael's is 3-0. They struggled against Capital a couple of weeks ago and blew out Santa Fe last week. It was a no contest, actually, Mike. So it was an easy win for them last week.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a little bit surprising, but the Horsemen just huge victory last week. So we were talking a little bit before we got on air, Jim. Just not 100% sure what to expect. We've seen a lot of good things from the Toppers. We've seen them really open up their offense. We've seen them being able to throw the ball. They had a very solid victory in week 1, and then a close call victory against Taos, or a close call loss against Taos. Unfortunately, just special teams let them down a little bit, just could not hold them to right at the end. Last week was a little bit of a surprise, just we were expecting the Toppers and the Jaguars to have a pretty solid game, and they had, like you said, for 3 quarters I think it was a 2-point ball game at one point.
Yes.
And then the wheels just completely fell off about the last 15 minutes or so, and Capital cruises to that victory. So we're a little unsure what to expect today. The Toppers got banged up against Capital. Zach Stidham was knocked out, really didn't play in the second half, as well as Teak Nieto was really played very sparingly. In fact, I don't think he played on offense in the second half. I think he was relegated to defense. Yeah, so, like I said, we're a little bit concerning there. Wow, the Horsemen have a lot of captains out there.
Yeah,
they have seven captains, and in fact the officials didn't let them all out into the middle of the field.
Yeah,
so
We'll let 4 of them go, but that's going to be
it. That's it. We cut it off at 4.
Yeah. So right now we're about to have the toss out here. We hadn't had the toss. They've been kind of doing that lately. Normally they come out real early and do the toss, but the last few games we've been doing, they don't do the toss. Well, they wait till both teams are out on the field, and so here we go. Los Alamos won the toss. They'll receive, and they will defend the east goal, and St. Michael's will defend the west goal, and St. Michael's will kick off to Los Alamos to start this ball game. And it's interesting too because there's been a big quarterback battle here at St. Michael's for 2 years. Last year their QB1 got hurt right off the bat, so they had 3 quarterbacks after 3 backup quarterbacks. So Joey Fernandez, the head coach, he went ahead and used all 3 of them, and he kept alternating them in. So you'd see a new quarterback come in with a different set, and a little bit later you'd see another quarterback. So he kept rotating the 3 quarterbacks. And this year it's been a battle between Jacob Katko, and that is Mike Katko, who I just referred to, my son-in-law and a good buddy of ours and a co-broadcaster. And Jacob Katko, also a quarterback, and he is and so he's right now he's a backup quarterback, but he's been battling with Zach Martinez. But Martinez is going to start. And so we're about ready to go here, Mike.
Yes, we are in the St. Mike's quarterback situation. We'll keep an eye on that. Those are 2 very, very talented quarterbacks. I think they're fine with either one of them. Martinez will get the nod to start things off, and we're about ready to go. Lucas Goudelet. No, not Lucas Goudelet.
We have a number 1.
We are checking. The horsemen were good enough to give us a full roster. That is Creed Chavez to kick off, number 1.
Okay, I have a different number for him, but anyway, he is on my roster anyway. So she kicks it away, and it is a long kick. It's going to come down. It's going to go headed toward the sideline. It rolls through the Hilltoppers. They finally do pick it up inside the 5-yard line, and it's Kenny Suazo. So Suazo tried to pick it up at the 10-yard line, rolled through his legs, and then he turned around and ran it back to the inside the 5-yard line, picked it up about the 3. And then by that time, the entire St. Michael's, a blue wave had come in on him. And so he was tackled almost immediately. And let's see, they're going to pop that ball down. Where are they going to put it? They're going to right on the 5-yard line. So it's going to be first and 10 for Los Alamos from their own 5. And back there is Zach Stidham. And next to him is Teek Nieto. And the Hilltoppers have receivers all over the place. So they had a lot of wideouts for this first play of the game. They're going to hand it to Teek, and Teek is going to try to go over the left side. He's not going to go anywhere. So Teek just ran into a pile back there, and so coming in was Andy Dang, and along with Jake Katko, actually, who we just talked about. So Jake in on the tackle, and
we're going to give him about a yard. So 2nd and 9 coming up for Los Alamos.
Swing pass over on the left side, and it's covered very well by St. Michael's once again. And boy, Tavin Lozado, he sniffed that out right away. Big kid, Tavin, and so he came in, made the stop. So right now the Hilltoppers are 3rd down and about 7 deep in their own territory. So they need to get out of it. They put a man in motion, Kenny Suazo rolling to his right, and Zach Stidham. The pass is upfield around the 15-yard line, but they're not going to bring it in. And it went to Kenny Suazo. Let's see. I guess Kenny did make the catch, didn't he?
He did make the catch.
I thought he dropped it.
It's going to be about a yard and a half short of the line to gain. So Toppers will punt. First punt of the game. 3 and out for Los Alamos.
Yeah, the Hilltoppers, they started from the 5. They had to get to the 15. They got to the 13. So Hayden Jorgensen will kick. And once again, Hayden, he's had problems this year. And so Hayden, this time he kind of shanks it off on the right side. So St. Michael's going to end up with fantastic field position here. This is exactly the same thing that happened last week against Capital. They kicked off to Los Alamos. We went 3 and out, didn't really do anything. And then the punt was just exactly the same way it is today. The ball's at the 30-yard line, Mike. So we try to punt out of there. We're on the 13. We try to punt out of there. So that punt, good for 17 yards.
You know, if that's all you're going to get out of the punt, you might as well try for the first down.
Yeah, what the heck, you know. So here we go with Zach Martinez back at quarterback, and he's going to pitch it out over to the right side, and cutting around the right side this time right now is Marcus Leyba. Marcus Leyba, a young man, he's a 5'11" senior, and he had 4 touchdowns last week against Santa Fe. And he's going to carry that ball. He's going to pick up 6 yards on the play as he moves it down to the 24-yard line.
Quick pitch out to the right side and had some good blocking actually coming up for the Toppers to make a nice stop. Was I believe that was Jehoran Quintana. But other than that, if Quintana doesn't make that stop, that's good for another 10 yards.
Oh, yes. Here we go again to Leyba to the left side on the pitch out, and he's going to be wrapped up behind right at the line of scrimmage. Coming in is Seth Yost for Los Alamos, who makes a nice stop. And actually, they lost a yard. So they were at down about the 23. Well, no gain. That's exactly where they started from. The 24-yard line.
And Nieto coming in, giving the initial penetration, and really made the running back having to change his course, kind of cut back inside to let Yost make the tackle.
So 3rd down and 4. And to Leyba right over right tackle. He's still going. He's going to go all the way. I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Touchdown saving tackle that time. A little shoestring. And I believe, Mike, that looked like Jehoran Quintana.
I believe it was. How did he make that tackle?
I have no idea.
Because for the Horsemen, Leyba had a clear lane right to the end zone. I am stunned that they stopped him.
Somehow Jehoran got a shoestring tackle. I don't know how he did because there wasn't anybody even in front of Leyba at all. So it's going to come back to Martinez. Going to go to Leyba again, and Leyba is going to come across the 10-yard line down to about the 8 or the 7. And so he's going to be brought down for Los Alamos this time by Nieto. So, well, Mike, Leyba had 4 touchdowns against Santa Fe. Santa Fe was no match for St. Michael's last week. And St. Michael's, of course, beat Capital. So the big headline in New Mexico was that St. Michael's is the top team in Santa Fe. So anyway, there's the distinction for you. And so Stidham, this time he's going to hand it off to Andy Dang. And Andy Dang, a little tailback that lines up there next to Stidham. And he's going to move it down to about the 5-yard line. And making the stop for Los Alamos that time was Kyler Young. Kyler Young comes in, drags him down, but Dang runs it up to about the 5-yard line. They've got to get about to the 3. So good run that time, dang it. Anyway, sorry about that.
I was like, how do I work that in? Let me think about it.
So anyway, they're going to be 3rd down and about 3 for St. Michael's, and still he's going to drop back. He's got a man open in the end zone, and he catches it right at the right smack at the back line of the end zone, and that pass was complete. Let's see, do we have a 91?
I think it's an 81. I think that's
81.
Tavin Lozado.
Tavin Lozado. So nice pass, and he ran his route down, and then he took off right. He went all the way to the back of the end zone. He was almost out of bounds, but went up a nice pass. And he pulls it in. So right now we're going to have Creed. He's going to kick the extra point. Is going to be, and the kick is up, and it's good. So, Mike, 6-7-0 ball game, and we've got what remaining here? 6:53. It's hard to see the scoreboard.
6:59 here left in the first quarter, and the Horsemen draw first blood, 7-0. Nice pass to the back line from Martinez to Lozada, and that puts the Horsemen on the board. 7-0 here, and so the Toppers will get the ball back. That was a long drive for a 30-yard 30-yard drive. That took a while.
Yeah, it really did. Hilltopper did a pretty good job. Great field position that time for Santa Fe to start things off, and they took advantage. Creed Chavez on the roster, he's number 23, Mike, on the Max Prep roster, 5'11", 164 pounds. But right now he's number 1. So
yes,
I love that.
Yeah, so Creed, his father, great boxer, by the way. Really, him and Rocky Balboa had some classics.
Yeah,
I don't know
did.
if you remember those.
Oh yeah. It's so here he goes, and Creed will kick it away, and this one is going to be a very short squib kick, picked up at the 30-yard line by Los Alamos, and they're going to move it up to Chris Meyer-Dirks. So Meyer-Dirks picks it up, rolled right to him. So he picked it up about the 25, and he was able to get it up to, let's see where they're going to spot this thing down. They're still trying to figure it out. So he picked it up.
Didn't look like it's that hard to, that's about right where he was. I don't know why they were having a discussion over it. It was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, he picked it up actually about the 30, and then had about a 3-yard pickup after the run back. But of course, it was going to be a pitch out, and Zach Stidham is buried as he was trying to run a pitch out option play to the left at Tiknieto. Never was able to make the pitch out, and so he is buried. I mean, big loss to the quarterback, Zach Stidham, and so they moves it all the way back now to, let's see, the ball back around the 29-yard line. So they're going to give it this time, once again, trying to go around the left side. Or the ball is loose, picked up by St. Michael's, heading to the end zone. Are they going to let him do that? I don't think so.
No, I think he was on the ground when he got it, but just a quick play over to Kenny Swazo, and Swazo was popped, and the ball went straight up in the air.
Yes.
And fell right into the lap of one of the Horsemen. And it's actually a good thing he was on the ground, because he would have walked into the end zone.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he took off toward the end zone, but I was thinking the same thing as Mike. You can't advance a fumble. If it had been in the air, that'd be like an interception or something. But anyway, that's going to give St. Michael once again fantastic field position at the 22-yard line of the Hilltoppers. So they come out in that same set, and so it's so they line up, and they got that pro set, and they bring back down to Martinez. He's going to drop back, go to the corner of the end zone again to Creed Chavez, and unbelievable! I think he caught it. He did, unbelievable. And I'm telling you, all over him was Abraham Sanchez. I mean, they were almost dancing together back there in that end zone. And a perfect pass. And I don't know how Creed came up with that, but it came right to him, and he was able to wrestle it away from Abraham Sanchez, because Abraham was right there. He was right with him every step of the way. In fact, I looked; it was almost to the point Abraham could have picked it off. But so right now, we're going to have Creed is going to go for the extra point.
Oh,
and whoa! And he kicked it. Well, they put it down normally around the 10-yard line or so, and he kicked it to about the goal line.
Yeah, that was a straight toe punch. That was. That looked like if you're trying to bunt in kickball or something. That's kind of what that looked like.
Yeah.
I didn't get more than about 10 feet off the ground ever.
Yeah, nice little soft approach shot on the golf course.
Yeah, that would have been great. He would have been right at the flag.
Yeah. So quickly, and I mean quickly with 5:53 remaining. Well, that didn't take very long. 5:53 remaining. Sportsmen are up to 13-0 on the Hilltoppers, and the Hilltoppers so far have done absolutely nothing against the St. Michael's defense. So we'll see what happens here now as once again it's going to be Creed Chavez. Well, Creed, he's been pretty active in this ball game so far. And so Creed is going to go ahead and he's going to kick off. Got that touchdown. And great catch. And perfect pass from Zach Martinez. So once again, this one is going to go out of bounds.
And that was touched by the Toppers at about the 2-yard line. It was scooting out of bounds. One of the Toppers picked it up and then stepped on the line.
Unbelievable.
They are going to have the ball inside the 5, looks like right at the 2-yard line. Had he let that go, they would have had it on the 35, Gene.
Yes, and it was just about to go out of bounds when he grabbed it. And then as soon as he grabbed it, like Mike said, he took a step forward and out of bounds. So the Hilltoppers backed up all the way to their 2-yard line, which it should have been on the 35. So those are the kind of things that Garrett Williams was talking about. Some of the decisions these players are making are sometimes not the best decision. And in the end zone, and Jack Stidham, he's going to hand it off to Teak Nieto, and Teak is just going to go over right side, and he's going to run into the. He went over the left side and ran into the entire right side of the St. Michael's line, including the linebackers. I couldn't believe how many people were in on that tackle. And so right now the Hilltoppers, they have moved it up to the 6-yard line. They pick up 4, and Stidham the swing pass over on the left side and trying to get it this time to Kenny Suazo. Comes right to Kenny. Kenny took off running before he had the ball.
He had a couple of yards, too, it looked like. I don't know if he was going to get – the Horsemen have shown some really good pursuit on defense so far, but that would have been at least a couple 3-yard pickup, make this a more manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, so that's not going to be 3rd down. And Stidham is rolling to his right. They'll pass to Kenny Suazo is low. Hits Kenny in the leg as he tried to come down the sideline up to about the 20-yard line. So right now the Hilltoppers in deep trouble right now, I'm telling you, because they're going to have to kick out of the end zone on 4th down. And the punt game for Los Alamos has not been all that good. So we'll see if Hayden can get one going here. Hayden Jorgensen will kick it away, but he's had some trouble punting the ball out, and they're so deep right now. And so this is a high punt that comes down to the 35-yard line and is taken there by none other than Creed Chavez. Creed is everywhere.
He is. He absolutely is. He's got 7 of the 13 points so far for the Horsemen, and he's been very active on special teams. So 5:08 remaining. The Horsemen 13-0, and they're set up at the Topper 33-yard line. Toppers desperately need to stop on defense.
Oh, yes. And, St. Michael's, it's just been all St. Michael's. I mean, all. There's been no contest. And Zach Martinez is still the quarterback. Next to him, Marcus Leba in motion, and they're going to give the ball to the motion man, and that was Cole Jacobs. And Jacobs just came right smack in front of Martinez. Martinez just stuck the ball, a little inside handoff, stuck it in his gut. And he cut up, but he only picked up about 3 yards on the play as he got it up to the 30-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 7. So nothing fancy about that play. He just went ahead and put Jacobs in motion, and his motion, he just ran by him and just handed him the ball. But the Hilltoppers had pretty good penetration on that one. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7. Now they're going to line up in a pistol, and behind the quarterback is Jacob dropping back. Zach Martinez there's a swing pass, a screen pass over to the left sideline as he gets it, as he gets it over to Leba. So they lined up in a pistol, and then Leba was behind him, And so then he just dropped back like he was going to throw, and then he just went with a screen pass to the left sideline to Jacob, but the Hilltoppers right there. And they actually throw him for a loss back to the original line of scrimmage at 33. So the Swordsmen pick up 3, lose 3. So now they got 3rd and 10. And the ball at the Hilltopper 33-yard line. The ball has never been in St. Michael's territory in this entire ball game yet here in this first quarter. 13-0 ball game. And right now we have 3:31 remaining here in the quarter. Well, they're going to have they do reverse. They get it to Leyba, and Leyba coming to the right side, and then coming from the left side is Creed Chavez. He gets the handoff. So they run a reverse, and Creed coming around the left side. And I see he's going to get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now they move it up to the 27. So now that's going to be 4th down and about 4. So the Hilltoppers right now, they need to stop, and they need to stop big time. In fact, Mike, if they could stop them here and turn it over, that would be the best field position the Hilltoppers have had.
Yes, by far.
So they line up once again in that spread formation, and come to Zeke. He fakes it to Roy Ball, rolling to his right, and heaves it down toward the. This one is going to be caught and still going. Wow. And that was Tavin Lozada. And he's going to pick up the first down. So they fake the handoff to Jacobs, and then he rolls to his right, and he sees Tavin Lozada. I can do this. And Lozada way down just a few yards up. Lozada, he caught it. He's only about 3-4 yards up field when he caught it, but he did the rest all on by himself as he moves it down to the 10-yard line. Inside the 10, it's going to be 1st and goal for St. Michael's, just inside the 10-yard line. And the handoff is going to go, well, they're going to have a penalty. The handoff went to Andy Dang, but dang, there's a penalty.
Dang.
So the illegal motion is the call against as Dang went into motion, they call illegal motion. So that's going to cost them 5 yards, and that'll move it back to the 15-yard line. It's going to be, the down remains the same, of course. So it's going to be 1st and 15 and 13-0 ball game. And we've got I can barely see that scoreboard. 2:19, is that right, Mike?
Yes, 2:19 left.
Mike can see the scoreboard. I can't. Well, I can't see the east end of the field on the north side. So
between the two of us, we can see the entire field. That's all that matters.
There it goes to Jacobs over right tackle, and he is hit and brought down. Last time leading the charge for Los Alamos that time was Kyler Young, and then helping him out was Zach Sortzkopf. So Lebo, that was a first and goal situation from the 15. So Hilltoppers do a good job. They push stopping, and they only pick up 2 yards on the play. So now it's 2nd and goal from the 13. Horsemen leading 13-0 here in the late going of the first quarter. Hilltoppers have never crossed the 50-yard line, and so they fake it to Leyba, rolling back with a little swing pass over to Lozada. Lozada, big kid, and he heads for the end zone. So Tavin Lozada in for the score, and once again, Lozada is a big kid. Well, he's 6'4", 183. He looks like he weighs a lot more than 183. He's a big kid, and he had no trouble at all. He just walked into the end zone after the pass. So they fake it to Jacobs. They started things off by running Jacobs on almost every play, and then lately now they've been trying to mix it up, and so the Creed Chavez attempting a point after. This is blocked by Los Alamos. So twice now. So the Creed is only 1 out of 3 from the point after line, but right now it's a 19-0 ball game, and we've got 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
we're going to be in the mercy rule.
We very well may be, and perfectly set up screen pass to the left side there, by the horseman to Lozada, and he had basically there was only one topper over there on that side, and he got blocked about the 5-yard line. Lozada just walked into the end zone the rest of the way. That was a beautifully set up pass.
So Los Alamos on the last kickoff, Creed actually kicked it out of bounds, and as it started to go out of bounds at the 2-yard line, the Hilltopper back there to the receiver decided to grab the ball and stepped on the sideline. So instead of getting the ball to 35, we got it at the 2. There's another Hilltopper's having a lot of trouble picking it up. Kenny Suazo finally does, and now he does have a pretty good run back up to, he actually picked it up about the 15, and he's going to get it up across the 25. And so the Hilltoppers, well, that's the best field position they've had this afternoon. Beautiful afternoon, Mike. A little cloudy, but great weather for football.
Yeah, a little overcast, but other than that, not maybe a little bit of breeze blowing to the west. But other than that, no, this is a beautiful afternoon for football. This is what you expect about this time of year.
So there's a little pitch out to Kenny Suazo coming around from the left to the right side. So Kenny just went in motion, and then he just was not an option or anything like that. It was just a straight pitch out to Kenny on the move. And so Kenny moves it up to the 26-yard line. And
he's going to lose about half a yard.
Yes, he did.
Oh, boy.
I said he moved it up. I should have said he moved it back. So anyway, so Stidham swing pass over to the right sideline, right at the line of scrimmage, and that one went right to the Hilltoppers, and
that was Yost, I believe, who caught that.
Yes, you're exactly right, Seth Yost.
And so the Toppers will pick up about that foot and a half that they lost on first down. So 3rd and 10 here for Los Alamos, and we hit double zeros on the clock. So the Toppers will have it 3rd and 10 when we come back. 19-0 in favor of the Horsemen heading into quarter 2.
I believe that, my God. Yeah, we thought this was going to be a pretty good ball game, but the Hilltoppers, they've had terrible field position every time they start. A lot of trouble with the kickoffs, and there've been 3 kickoffs, and so actually 4 kickoffs, and so Los Alamos anyway, they've had a lot of trouble. The 2 of them, they had a lot of trouble picking the ball up, and then they were finally able to get going. The other one, they grabbed it and then ran out of bounds with it, and so that ended up on the 35-yard. Should have ended up on the 35-yard line. So the Hilltoppers now will change ends of the field, and they will now attack the east goal and defend the west goal.
And Gene, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just eyeballing this. Toppers total offensive yardage, I believe we are in the negative.
Well, I'm not surprised.
But yeah, it has been very slim pickings. Toppers trying a lot of quick stuff, a lot of stuff to the sideline, and it has just not been effective so far.
Well, the defense by Joey Fernandez, the head coach, has been fantastic. So once again, I have Stidham back at quarterback. Next to him is Teak Nieto. They'll line up in the spread. Long count this time. And so Zach just going to be a swing pass. He starts to throw, so he fakes the throw over to Teak Nieto on the right sideline and tucks it under and tries to keep it himself. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Wow.
So they've run 3 plays, Mike, and gone nowhere. So the ball right now is exactly at the same spot they started, and that is on the 27-yard line. So they're going to have to kick it away again. Wow. I mean, I knew this would be a hard-fought ball game, but I really never expected this. So Jorgensen finally gets nice kickoff. That's going to bounce down around the 30-yard line or so, and then takes a St. Michael's bounce back to the 35. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for St. Michael's from their own 35.
Boy, if you're the coach and the worst starting field position you have is your own 35, that's not bad. Yeah. That is not bad. And by the way, Jane, a little historical note. This is the first time the football has crossed the 50-yard line into St. Michael's territory.
Exactly right. Exactly. So we've been playing.
Got to throw in those historical notes every now and then.
Well, we've actually played most of the ball game inside the 35-yard, inside the Hilltopper 35. So they set up in a classic spread formation. They've got and they have Jacob right behind Zach Martinez. So we should have had a motion penalty there, but they didn't throw it. They gave it to Jacob. Jacob's around the right side, breaks the tackle. He's finally brought down. Finally coming in and bringing him down for the Hilltoppers was Jackson Blair. And we're going to have and Mike, my eagle-eyed buddy here, says there was a block in the back, and there is a yellow flag on the field, which is, that's something, Mike. Last week against Capital, I don't know, I think we averaged about 10 yellow flags a quarter.
Yeah, I think it's it's only the second penalty of the game. The other one was a motion penalty so both of them on St. Mike's. That's going to march them back to the 30-yard line. But definite block in the back right there on the edge, on the right edge by the Horsemen. And that's going to wipe out most of a very, very nice run by Marcus Lema.
Yes, it was. And so now they end up in 1st and 15 and clear back on their own 30. So anyway, so we line up again. It's going to go dropping back. Martinez got good blocking, pass upfield. This one is, whoa, nice pass. And so he's trying to get it up to Creed Chavez, and he does. Unbelievable. Well, how in the world did he catch that thing?
Well, I don't think he caught it, but we're going to have a
holding
okay. Penalty on the Topper defense, and that was a clear hold. Somebody had pretty good handful of Creed's jersey.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think he caught it, but then everything started to go back upfield.
He got closer than I thought he would have, considering the hold. He actually had half a chance to catch that, just could not pull it in. But that is a big penalty. Actually, they're going to call a pass interference on that. I don't agree with that. That should have been a hold, but they're going to call pass interference.
And that's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. So that'll move the ball up to the 45-yard line, still in St. Michael's territory. So they will come back to Martinez. He's going to fake it to Jacob, swing pass over to the left to Creed Chavez. Chavez coming down the left sideline, breaks the tackle. He finally brings it into the Hilltopper territory. And then he's hit and dropped there for Los Alamos. Coming in to make the stop is Zach Stidham, and along with Kyle Ebenhus. So Kyle Ebenhus in on the tackle along with Zach. But Creed Chavez doing a good job run after the catch. It was a little swing pass right down the line of scrimmage. And then so they move it up to the Hilltopper 52-yard line.
Yes, right at the 52.
So 48-yard line, Los Alamos, first and second down and 3 for St. Michael's, and they've not been having any problem moving this ball. They're going to give it to Leba. Leba's going to go straight up the middle. He's going to pick up the first down as he just went right smack up the middle, and then he runs into the tandem this time of the Hilltoppers coming in to make the stop for Los Alamos was Matt Brusso, and along with Donovan Allen. So but it's a first down for St. Michael's.
And a lot of motion in the backfield for a play that just plowed right behind center.
Yes, it was right up the middle. Exactly right up the middle. So here we go. And in motion it goes. Then they fake it. And so being caught, boy, we're going to catch. Well, they faked it that time to Jacobs, and then they faked it to Creed, and then charging through Matt Brusso for Los Alamos. He comes in from his defensive end position, and he grabs Martinez for a big loss. So Martinez actually, I don't know if there was a mix-up. They faked the handoff, and then they rolled to the left, but the two runners, Creed and Zach Martinez, they were right next to each other. And I don't think Zach was able to make any kind of a handoff or a pitch or anything. And Matt Brusso made him pay.
Yeah, that looked like there was some miscommunication in the backfield. But Brusso right there, Brusso, just a sophomore. He's having himself a heck of a start to this 2022 season.
Yeah, he really is. Hilltopper's on the blitz, and they pick it up. Long pass, wide open is Creed Chavez. Whoa, and they just overthrow him. Boy, and he was behind everybody. So his favorite receiver was wide open. And so Creed now is going to come out of the ball game. So it's going to be third down and 16 for Los Alamos. So after the sack by Matt Brusso, the St. Michael's in a little bit of trouble here. Third and long. They may have to punt. They never did punt against Santa Fe in that ball game last week. They won that 47-0, and they never had to punt in the entire ball game. So right now it's third down and 16. Dropping back Martinez. They're going to run a screen, and the screen, Hilltoppers, boy, that was the worst executed screen I've seen in a long time. As Zach Schwartzoff, he sniffed it out, and he didn't have any trouble sniffing it out. I mean, you could tell that was a screen right smack off the bat. I mean, there wasn't any question as that was what was coming up. And so they get the pass up to Leba, and then he's immediately dumped by Zach Schwartzoff. So finally, St. Michael's are going to have to punt. And we have a 19-0 ball game, and we've got 7:04 remaining here in the. So he boots it away, and this one's going to be a fair catch called by Los Alamos. And I think, is that a flag or just a beanbag?
No, the ball actually squirted away from the receiver, but I think with the toppers fell on it. I think that was Dirks who actually ended up falling on it, but that ball was not caught cleanly.
No, it was not.
So in any event, that was a fair catch attempt, but the Toppers going to get the ball at the 27-yard line, but the Horsemen weren't that far away from the ball when it hit the ground.
No, they were right there. It was a short kick with a high elevation. So back now once again, Stidham in motion. They fake it to Kenny Suazo. Flag flies. And
I think it's going to be a motion penalty on Los Alamos.
Yeah, I think so. They're going to march off 5 yards. Well, no ceremony for this one. He just grabbed the ball and march off the 5.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. So, as soon as they threw it to the umpire, he just simply, okay. He didn't even wait for the ref to signal or give him anything. So 5-yard penalty for Los Alamos. That's going to make it now 1st and 15 for the Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers, as Mike said, the high snap that's pulled in by Stidham. He gets it to Teak. The Ace comes right smack up the middle, and he's hit immediately. And coming in and making the stop for St. Michael's that time was Dylan Pacheco. So Dylan right there, but Teak picks up Mike 2 yards, 3 yards.
They're going to give him about a 2-yard pickup. Actually, that's not a great spot. I thought Teak got a couple more than that.
Yes, he did. So second down now and 13. Swing pass over to the right this time to Hayden Jorgensen. He drops it. So the Hilltoppers, the receivers on those swing passes, Mike, they're taking their eye off the ball. And they're starting to head downfield before the ball gets there.
And that was a little bit dangerous as well. Hayden just kind of gave up on it. That was very close to being backward.
Yes, it was.
And if that's backward, that is a free ball. That is anybody's ball.
Yes, it was. So anyway, we have a hard count now by Zach Stidham. So we're going to have a 5-yard penalty against the St. Horseman for encroachment or infraction of the neutral zone or offsides, as we used to say 100 years ago.
Yeah, whatever that was. Boy, the umpire, he doesn't care what the referee's going to call. He's putting the ball down. He didn't even look at the referee.
No, it's kind of like he should be wearing the white hat, actually. Stidham, he's like all kinds of time. And the pass is complete up to the 40-yard line. Hilltopper's going to pick up the first down as the pass is complete upfield as they get it now up to Chris Meyerdirks. Chris Meyerdirks playing in place of Malachi Gutierrez. Malachi Gutierrez is out for this game, Mike. And so Chris Meyerdirks has come in to take his place. But we think that Malachi will be back next week for homecoming when the Hilltoppers take on Pewaukee. But that's the best game the Hilltoppers have had in this ball game so far. Now they're going to hand it once again. They're going to give it to Teak, and he's going to go over right tackle. And boy, I tell you, there's nothing there for you in that right tackle position. I mean, Dylan Pacheco, I mean, he just clogs it up like you can't believe. And every time the Hilltoppers try to go over their right side, the left side of the St. Michael's line, they just can't do it. And they stopped them every time. And that last pass play is the best play the Hilltoppers have had. Option run to the right, and Stidham is going to keep it, and he's going to pick up a pretty good gain as he's going to get up close to the first down marker. And brought down there once again. It looks like this time it's Isaiah Mossman for St. Michael's. It drops him. Boy, nobody's wasting any time. The Hilltoppers are ready to snap it again. They took a tick there. So Stidham fakes it to he faked it to Tick Nieto, who actually would have made the first down, decides to keep it himself, and then he's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. So the ball now squarely on the nose of the ball right now at the midfield. The ball into Hilltopper territory by the length of the football. And the Hilltoppers now, they're going to go for it on 4th and short. Swing pass to the right once again. Boy, I'm telling you, Mike, that swing pass is just not working.
No, that's going to lose close to 5 yards. And that ball ended up on the ground. And again, that was a backward pass. Teak wisely jumps on it, but they're gonna say that was an incomplete pass. That was not an incomplete pass. That was backward.
Yes,
but that spares the Toppers about 5 yards in field position. But the Horsemen will take over right at midfield. 4:18 remaining, 19-0.
The only thing they had to do, Mike, was the nose of the ball was in Hilltopper territory, and right at the 50. Now the nose of the ball is still at the 50, but in St. Michael's territory.
Yeah, they just had to flip the ball over.
Exactly. So here we go out of the spread formation for St. Michael's, leading 19-0 here in the second quarter. Pitch out is going to come to Marcus Leba on the right side. Leba is going to move it down to about the 42. And let's see, Mike, where we're at is 19-0 is the score at this point. And we have 4 minutes and exactly remaining and the clock moving as a nice pickup, that a 9-yard gain that time for St. Michael's.
Boy, and the blocking up front for St. Michael's has been impeccable. The Toppers were pushed back. Every last one of them was pushed back 5 yards.
Yeah, they just been powerful. They've been dominating Los Alamos on both sides of the line. And so right now, going to go to Marcus Leba, and he's going to be, he may be short. Let's see what the spot is.
It's going to be very, very close.
He had to pick up a yard, and no,
he needed 3 feet, and he got 3 feet and nothing.
Exactly.
So that is good enough for the first down.
Nose of the ball is right at the 40, and he started the nose of the ball was right at the 50. Exactly 3 yards, Mike. So We're in the second quarter, 3 minutes remaining. 19-0 ball game. St. Michael's dominating Los Alamos so far. And Zach Martinez, the quarterback, and Marcus Leyva having a great game. Martinez drops back, quick pass over onto the right side to his favorite receiver, Tavin Lozada. And Lozada, like I say, a big kid, about 6'4". They say he weighs 180 pounds. I'm telling you, he's certainly a lot bigger than 180 pounds that I've seen.
He doesn't look like 180 pounds. He looks closer to the 200 mark.
Oh, easy. So, anyway, little short pass over to Lozada, and he picks up 3 yards. They're up to the 37-yard line right now. So the Hilltoppers need to stop here in the closing moments of this first half. Get the chance to regroup. Pitch out over the left side to Leyva. Leyva is going to be hit as it crosses he's hit right away. And boy, nice stop for the Hilltoppers by Kyler Young. And essentially, you see very, very little gain on the play, maybe a yard. So good defense, good penetration by Kyler that time. So Kyler Young for Los Alamos, and so Kyler comes popping it in, and Kyler for Los Alamos, he plays left defensive tackle, and he's one of the leaders in tackles here on this for the Hilltoppers this season. But now it's going to be 3rd down and 9. So, and dropping back Martinez. Wide open is Creed. And Creed pulls it in for the score.
Wow.
I mean, it does not get, Mike, any easier than that. I mean, Creed just took off down the right hash mark, and he just blew by everybody. And Zach Martinez sees him down there, and perfect pass. Just laid it right in his lap. The Creed was way ahead of everybody. That was about as easy a touchdown as you can possibly get.
40 yards, good. And there was nothing fancy about that. That was a straight go route. And Creed just blew by the cornerback. He had 3-4 steps on him. And Martinez drops the ball right in his lap.
Perfect.
Yeah, you don't get much easier than that.
They're going to go for 2. So they line up in a pistol. Martinez was a quick pass, trying to get it. Let's see, this time he was trying to get it up the field to Hayes Barros, but Hayes can't hang on. So out of 4 touchdowns, the St. Michael's has only been able to convert 1 point after. And that was on the very, very first one.
And that was a beautiful kick, too. I thought they were not going to have any problem with that. And then since then, Creed has been kind of all over the place with his kicking. So, and then a 2-point, actually a quick slant route. I think actually one of the toppers got a hand on that one and was able to knock it away. But so 25-0, 1:18 remaining here in the first half. This first half has been all St. Michael's. Toppers have done a little bit better job on defense the last couple of St. Mike's possessions and have been able to slow them down. But that was a fantastic go route from Martinez to Creed Chavez. And like you said, they just don't get any easier than that.
No, they don't. So here's another little squib kick. And this one's going to be taken by, let's see, who finally picked that thing up. I didn't think anybody was going to pick it up for Los Alamos. They kept dinking around, and finally,
I think that was Evan Huss.
Yeah, Evan Huss finally picks it up, and then he was buried right away. So it was a little squib kick and just kind of rolling around. Kept waiting for one of you guys pick it up. That's a free ball.
Yes, I need to get that. We've already seen a classic Bill Buckner between the legs here. So toppers need to be a little more careful in those.
So Stidham fakes the pass to the left, comes back to the right, and he's going to get it up the field to Hayden Jorgensen, and Jorgensen is going to pick up the first down. And this is shades of last week, Mike. Hilltopper started off against Capital, could not establish anything. Now they're going to give it to Teak straight up the middle, and he's going to pick up a few yards. But last week, the first two possessions for Los Alamos were both disasters. They were 3 and out, and not a good punt. 3 and out, not a good punt. But unbelievably, they held Capital in that mess. 2 series, Capitals had the golden opportunity to score, and they only came away with a field goal, 3-0. And so the Hilltoppers were never out of the ball game until the fourth quarter came along, and then it was all Capital from then on.
Yeah, we have a timeout here, 51 seconds remaining. I think the Toppers took that. They have the ball on their own 41-yard line, 51 seconds left. All horsemen here so far in this half. So the Toppers, interesting timeout there, Gene. I would think the Toppers, they still got a long way to go. They may just want to go back to the locker room and talk things over. Just the nice play on a quick slant from Stidham to Hayden Jorgensen. Nice 19-yard pickup. That's actually their biggest gain of the contest so far, but not much time, long way to go, and things have not gone well for the offense so far.
The Hilltopper 41 are going to run the option. Pitch out comes to Teak over to the left side. Teak's going to make it up because he's going to pick up the first down as he dives toward midfield. And
flag on the play right at the 40.
We'll see what the umpire is going to do here.
Yeah, we don't even have to look at the referee. Just the umpire. I think that's going to be a hold on Los Alamos right at the 40-yard line, and that is a big, big penalty. That's going to knock them all the way back to the 30.
Wow, boy, that was a big penalty. That's going to move them back to the 30. They need to get to the 48.
So Los Alamos, and we're going to have motion on Los Alamos. The right guard looked like try to get a little bit of a head start there. Can't do that. That costs Toppers another 5-yard, 37 seconds remaining. Toppers heading in the wrong direction. They're now on the 25-yard line. They have to get to the 48 for a first down. Second down for Los Alamos. 33 seconds remaining. They're at the line of scrimmage. They're ready to go.
Yeah, I think they should just kneel down. So Stidham rolling to his right. Going to try to air it over on the little short pass on the sideline.
It's caught by Kenny Suazo over on the right side for a minimal gain.
Yeah, he run out of bounds at the 28. And at this point, the clock has stopped because he ran out of bounds. But
that does preserve a timeout, Gene.
But the thing I don't understand, Mike, is that you got 30 seconds to go, and why do you run a swing pass to the sideline? That's a kind of a.
Ooh, boy, that one knocked down by the Horsemen. And that was number 11 for the Horsemen. That was
Gage
Bass, and he was right there. Gene, that hit him in the hands. If he holds on to that, he waltzes into the end zone for a pick six.
Yeah, he thought he had it too.
And he was upset that he couldn't hang on.
He was jumping up and down. Hilltoppers are gonna boot it away, and it's going to be pulled down right at the 40-yard line. It breaks the tackle, and that's going to be Creed Chavez. Chavez around the right side, still going. He's all the way inside the 40-yard line of the Hilltoppers.
Oh, wow.
And I thought they were going to get him immediately.
He caught it right around the St. Mike's 45-yard line. Pretty good coverage downfield for the Toppers. And, I thought they had him, maybe for a couple of yards, but he breaks out to his right. And actually, if I think he goes to the sideline, Gene, he might have been gone, but he cut it back inside and just where a couple of Toppers were, and they were able to drag him down. But that was very, very close. Creed nearly broke that.
4 seconds, Mike. the clock stopped on a change of possession. The ball right now is at the 39-yard line of the Hilltoppers. This will be the final play of this half, with St. Michael's leading 25-0 over the Hilltoppers.
They're going to add a few seconds to the clock, I think, and that is right. I think it kept going after Chavez was brought down. 17 seconds remaining. Actually, that seems a little much. I thought there was about 12 seconds or so.
Yeah. So anyway, St. Michael's said time. Somebody call a timeout.
The Horsemen call a timeout.
And Garrett Williams out discussing something with the head man, the referee, the guy in the white hat.
That's not the guy you should talk to. You need to talk to the umpire.
Right. He's running the game.
Yeah. The referee's just along for the ride today. Yeah. Now Garrett's steamed about something, and
no,
I'm not quite sure what. I think something happened on the run back that he didn't like. But yeah, he is steamed.
Yeah, he really is. He's still talking to the referees, and
so they're going to put 10 seconds on the clock. Maybe that's what he was upset about, rather than 17.
Well, that was a lot to put back.
Yeah, it was
13 seconds.
So 10 seconds. That is probably about right. But
I was going to say at 17 they had a chance for 2 plays. I'm not sure if they have a chance for 2 here. They obviously will throw it, I would think. But they line up in the classic spread. They have Marcus Leyva back there with Zach Martinez, and Martinez he's gonna throw it. He's gonna let it go. He's gonna air it all the way out. And this one trying to get it over to Tavan Lozado. He does, and Lozado's able to run out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. So they're going to put it down around the 23, I do believe. And so that's going to make it now 1st and 10, but now we're back to 4 seconds again. So this should be the final play of this half. So the Hilltoppers just need to somehow get in some kind of a prevent defense, because this is the last chance for St. Michael's to penetrate that goal line in this half. 4 seconds to go, and they line up right behind Martinez is Marcus Leyva, and Martinez, he's going to drop back and he's just going to throw, and pass is thrown into the end zone, broken up by Los Alamos. A good defensive play back there for Los Alamos, and let's see.
I think that was Meyerdurks back there.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Chris Meyerdurks, right. So he was right there and break it up. So that'll do it. First half comes to a play, an end. It's now 25-0. And we're going to have a 15-minute intermission here. So we're going to send it back to Charlene. And we have some great sponsors. And Charlene's going to put those on the YouTube video. So we'll be back in just a little bit.
Greetings, Hilltoppers. I'm Brian DeAndrea of TechSource Incorporated. We are a science and engineering consultancy headquartered in Los Alamos, and for over 20 years have been providing the hard-won knowledge and skills from this community to organizations around the nation. It is our pleasure to support Los Alamos and Hilltopper sports. Good luck and have fun. Go Hilltoppers!
Join the University of New Mexico Los Alamos for the exceptional education. Join us for the small class sizes. Join us for the quality faculty and staff who are dedicated to your success. Whatever your reason for joining us, start here, go anywhere. Go Hilltoppers!
We understand the challenge of explaining to kids that money doesn't grow on trees. At Los Alamos Schools Credit Union, we have all of the tools you need for your kids to learn good financial habits. We offer a free student checking account with debit card, 24/7 online banking, and great member service to help you and your family's finances stay on track. And right now, we're offering a back-to-school bonus deposit with every new student checking account open before October 1st. Grow with us at Los Alamos Schools Credit Union for people, not profit.
Hi there, my name is Kristen O'Hara, and I'm the Director of Interpretation at Pajarito Environmental Education Center. We are the nonprofit that runs the Los Alamos Nature Center. Bears are active in Los Alamos during spring, summer, and fall. New Mexico Game and Fish recommend the following 6 bear-wise basics to keep you and our bears safe. Do not feed or approach bears. Whether it's unintentional or intentional, feeding black bear in our community is incentivizing them to come into our residential neighborhoods for food. And we do not want to do that. They are wild animals. They're equipped for finding food themselves. Our people food is not the best thing for them. As far as approaching bears in the wild, it is best to stay away from black bear. If a black bear hasn't seen you and you happen to see one across the street from you, take a moment to have that beautiful experience, but do not approach a black bear. Make sure to secure your garbage cans and recycling. Bears have a very keen sense of smell and can rip open garbage cans very easily, so having them secured with some sort of bungee cord or something to keep the lids down is the best way to keep our bears in our community safe. Remove bird feeders during prime active bear times. Black bears in Los Alamos are active anywhere between the very end of April, May to the middle of November. So during those times, anything we can do to keep our bears safe by not giving them food is better for bears and better for us. So at night, for instance, at the Nature Center, we take down the bird feeders that we have outside and put them back up in the morning. So that is something you can do. But if you do have a bear at your house that has eaten from your feeders, make sure to take your feeders down for a length of time around 2 weeks, so the bear does not acclimatize to coming to your house for food. Do not leave your pet food outside. If you happen to feed your animals outdoors, put your food bowls out there, make sure your animals have your fill, but make sure you bring them in after your animal is done eating. That'll, again, keep the bears safe. Clean and store your grills. That means cleaning your grills thoroughly, removing all fat and food that could have dropped in the base of the grill, and then storing it in an inaccessible place, so a place the bears cannot get to, like a garage or even inside your house, if that's a possibility. I know not everybody has a garage, but just keeping in mind a good place to store a grill that is away from that can be away from bears accessing it. And I guess our last bear safety tip is to tell your neighbors, communicate with your neighbors and your friends about bears that have been spotted in the area, or these safety tips that you've learned here today. The more knowledge we can give to our neighbors and our friends, the better, and it will keep our bear neighbors and our human neighbors as safe as possible. Good luck, toppers, on your season.
Well, it's great to see Topper sports season kicking off again. I'm Troy Hughes. I'm the fire chief here in Los Alamos. And we're glad to see COVID kind of waning and people getting back to their normal activities. One of the things that hurt us during this time period was our lack of people. So we need recruits. We need cadets to come to work for Los Alamos Fire Department. It's a great career, very rewarding, good pay, good benefits, great retirement. You get to work out and maintain your Topper strength. So we're hoping that a few good people will come to work for us in the next year, and we hope that the Toppers win. So go Toppers.
Hello, I'm Deputy Chief Oliver Morris of the Los Alamos Police Department, and I just want to take a few moments of your time to talk about some safety initiatives that we want to bring forth to the community as the 2022-2023 school year starts in Los Alamos. School is right around the corner, and we want to remind parents and students to make sure that you leave enough time to get to school on time so we're not rushing. As you can see behind me, all school zones are 15 miles an hour when students are going to school, even if they're not present. So let's slow down and just make sure our students are safe. Secondly, I want to remind us that when the buses are stopped and their stop signs and lights are activated, we want traffic to stop in both directions to allow time for students to cross the street to keep them safe. The other thing I want to talk about is our school campuses. It's important to remember that during school, campuses are closed to the general public as well as the playgrounds and facilities while school is in session. This also includes Sullivan Field and the Sullivan Field parking lot. We want to make sure that school is meant for just school hours and school staff. Please check in with the staff regularly if you're going to be planning on visiting our campuses. We have a long history at Los Alamos to have amazing school resource officers. These officers are there to provide an atmosphere of safety and security for our students and faculty, but they're also there to foster positive relationships with students. So we use our school resource officers just to ensure that everything is safe in our schools. The other thing I'd like to direct our community to is on the losalamosschools.net website. If you click on the safety and wellness section, you will see that there's the See Something, Say Something app. This app is a great tool to report anything that has to do with safety, whether it's bullying or whether it's a suspicious person on campus or anything you think is safety related for our schools. Please use this app to report any suspicious behavior so that we can work in concert with the Los Alamos Public Schools to make sure everyone is safe. And that's the final message that I have for you today. And I just want to make sure that we have a safe and fun school year, and go Toppers.
Well, not a great first half for Los Alamos by any means. Completely dominated by St. Michael's on both sides of the line, offense and defense. And right now, the Horsemen, a very, very impressive game first half. I mean, wow. I mean, they showed they had a very powerful offense, very good offense, really good defense as they dominated Los Alamos to the tune of 25-0 here in the first half of play. And so it's been all St. Michael's. We thought this would be a much better contest, but the Los Alamos is having a lot of trouble moving against the Horsemen. And what is it? Our biggest gain has been, about 14, 15 yards, something like that. And other than that, and we're trying a lot of swing passes, and the swing passes just aren't working at all. Either they're covered up right away or they just don't complete the pass. And then, of course, trying to run Teak up the middle, but we really haven't seen any passes in upfield, like anybody running a slant pattern or a go pattern, anything like that. Everything's been either short passes or to the side. And Hilltoppers just haven't opened up the middle of the field at all as far as the passing game goes. And they've been having a lot of trouble with the run. Normally it's Teak Nieto who does the chores, but they've been running him over the right side of our line, and that left side of the St. Michael's line is just impenetrable. So, Mike, we'll see what happens here in the first half. What I'm interested to see, Mike, is that what Joey Fernandez, the head coach, comes out with in the second half because he went with Zach Martinez the entire first half, and he's been having this little kind of a quarterback, I don't know what you call it, but the quarterback battle between Jacob Martinez and I mean between Jacob Katko and Zach Martinez. So I was hoping that it would come out of the second half and we could see something of Jacob. Jacob, my son-in-law Mike, is his nephew, and of course we all know Mike Katko, who has been broadcast with us and does a lot of things around Los Alamos, but it's his nephew, and so we were hoping to see his nephew here in the second half. But right now, Mike, Joy Fernandez is he's got all the horses right now.
Yes, he does. He's got all the horses, he's got all the men. So he is in good shape, and we'll see what he wants to do about the quarterback situation. Joey Fernandez, in his entire career here at St. Mike's, and he's been here a while, he has never been shy about platooning his quarterbacks. So we very well could see Katko in the second half, but that was a dominant first half by Martinez and the Horsemen offense. 4 touchdowns, 3 of those coming in the first quarter. All 4 of those, by the way, were pass plays from Zach Martinez. Zach Martinez 10 for 12 in that first half, just misfired on 2 passes, including the last pass of the first half. They were trying to get that in the end zone from 23 yards out, but just misfired twice, 127 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the yardage doesn't sound huge, Gene, 127 yards, but bear in mind, St. Mike's played most of the first about 16, 17 minutes of this ball game in Topper territory. They really they were not in St. Michael's territory very often.
No, in fact, most of the first quarter was played inside the 30, as the Hilltoppers just not getting good field position for themselves, and then when they had to punt away, they I don't know, our punt game just has not been very good so far this year, and the punts are either short, and if it does get a good foot on it, they're very high and very short. So the punt game has been really hurt us against Capital last week, and it didn't do us any favors in this game either. So.
No, had a 17-yard punt, as a matter of fact, in the first quarter. And that was right following the first Horseman touchdown of the ball game. And the Horsemen just needed 30 yards to get on the board once again. So 25-0 in favor of the Horsemen. For the Toppers, Stidham, actually not horrible completion numbers, 9 of 13. And but there's got to be a little bit of an asterisk there. We've had 3 completed passes by Stidham go for exactly 0 yards. So that was not what the Toppers were hoping to get out of there. The Toppers are throwing a lot of passes to the sideline, a lot of swing passes. In fact, I don't think they worked the middle of the field hardly at all. The only pass I remember going anywhere to the middle of the field was actually the longest Hilltopper pickup of the entire first half that went to Hayden Jorgensen for 19 yards. And that was either their first or second first down of the half. The Toppers just have not gotten much going on the offensive side. 36 yards through the air by Stidham. And then the Topper running game just has not gotten going even a little bit. Just 5 carries for T. Nieto for just 11 yards. Toppers only piling up 50 yards in that first half. And actually, I think going into the second quarter, I believe the Toppers were in the negative. So a little bit better in the second quarter. The Horsemen did score just once in that second quarter. That was with 1:18 left. They did have a chance to add to that right at the end of the half, but the pass into the end zone fell a little bit short. So 25-0 in favor of St. Mike's. And Gene, the Toppers, I'm not quite sure what you do here. the Toppers absolutely have to get away from that swing pass, that screen pass game that they have been playing. That is doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it really hasn't, and so both teams are back on the field. The clock is reset to 12 minutes, but there's 3 minutes after they come back on the field. They have a 3-minute warm up. So St. Michael's, they're not even back yet. Now here they come.
Yeah, they are coming in. They got a nice little setup here. They got a little tent thing, like a blue tent thing, and they have water and everything at that tent on the St. Mike's side of the field. I think we had one of those last week in Los Alamos, but Garrett Williams, from what I understand, is not a fan of that. So he asked for it to be removed, if I understand correctly.
Is that right? Well, they had smoke and everything. And so talking about removing, here goes the St. Michael's tent, but they're done. So
yeah, that's it. That's all you get. You don't deserve any more water.
I think Garrett asked him to remove that one too. So
in any event, we're gonna have our 3-minute warm-up period. So we'll see what, like we said, what Joey Fernandez wants to do, if he wants to keep going. The Horsemen just absolutely demolished Santa Fe High last week, and that was a little bit of a surprise. I know Santa Fe, the Demons are not quite up to snuff this year, but that was just a mauling. I was a little surprised. I thought it'd be at least a semi-competitive game, and it was 100% Horsemen.
Yeah, and it was kind of crazy too, because they kept battling back before the ball game even started. Where are we going to play? And so I think they said they were going to start at Santa Fe, and then there was some kind of a controversy about the revenue situation, and I think they moved the ball game back to St. Michael's to here, and then more and more discussion, and I do believe it ended up in Santa Fe finally, over at the Ivanhead Stadium. So, but it was a lot of controversy over that. And then when St. Michael's won the ball game, the New Mexican came out with the headline they had already beat Capital. So it came out and said that the Horsemen were the top team in Santa Fe. And right now, Mike and I were talking, at this point in time, they're the top team in Santa Fe and Los Alamos, because they have completely dominated the Hilltoppers here in this first half of play. And of course, the bad news is we're kicking off to St. Michael's.
Yeah, the Toppers won the toss, and they elected to receive, and they went 3 and out with that drive. So the Horsemen will get this one back. They will get the kick. Marcus Leyva is the deep man here, and I don't see Paulo Creed. Oh, there he is. Creed Chavez at the 20-yard line. So Hayden Jorgensen to kick things off.
Yes. So.
And we'll see what the Toppers want to do here. I would, at least if I were Garrett Williams, I might think about onsiding this.
That's what Tom Brown, who used to coach for the Hilltoppers, he loved to try to sneak in an onside kick every once in a while. So Hayden Jorgensen, and very, very, very short kick. Very short. He's kicked off from the 40-yard line, and it made it up to the 40-yard line of St. Michael's.
Yeah, and that was a fair caught by one of the Horsemen. It was Reed Bass, and at the Horseman 39, you don't see fair catches on kickoffs very often, but actually I think that was the best choice there.
Yeah, and we had I'll talk about it in just a second, but it was amazing anyway. So here we go. And they still have back there still is Zach Martinez, fakes it fast, doubles, takes two handoffs, and then gets a pass up to Lozada. And Lozada catches it right at the sideline, steps out of bounds. The officials are now discussing it, maybe, maybe not. Maybe the side judge, and he's ruling it's a catch. So after a long discussion, the side judge comes over and says, "Yeah, that was a catch." And Mike, what was interesting was that when they kicked off, and then of course the two teams, Hilltoppers kick off a certain their football, and then they switch back. When they start to go, they bring St. Michael's football out so the St. Michael's can use their football. But and I'll finish that story in a minute. But anyway, so the ball right now, the nose of the ball right at the 50, and still goes to Marcus Leba, big hole over the left side. And he's going to pick up some game. And Abraham Sanchez making the stop for the Hilltoppers, but they opened up a nice hole. But what I was saying is that the light side judge here in front of us, he picked up they were going to switch balls, so they flipped him the Los Alamos ball so he could throw it over to the Hilltopper bench, and he was almost on the sideline on this side, and he threw that ball the entire width of the field. I mean, perfect pass. And so it's like, whoa, you know.
Yeah, it's 53 yards, and he couldn't have put that any better if he wanted to.
No, he couldn't. So anyway, it's going to be second down now and about 4. And fakes it to Leba, pass to Creed. Creed drops the ball. So Creed Chavez was wide open over on the right side. And, closing in on him at that time for Los Alamos. But
yeah, that would have picked up the first down easy. And then, Creed, that hit him right in the hands. Just wonder if he wasn't looking downfield as well. The Toppers have been doing that today.
Yes. He was so wide open. I mean, he caught that thing. He had all kinds of running room. So that's going to make it now third down and about 3rd and 4 for the Horsemen. So they haven't been doing anything fancy. They just come out in that same set. I thought they'd run some difference. Now this time they fake it to Leba, get it to Creed over on the right sideline. Creed has some running room as he goes right down the right sideline. He's going to get it inside the 30, and he's going to be hit and dropped there by Kyle Evanhus. But it's going to be a first down. So that's what St. Michael's isn't doing. They just simply fake the handoff, and it's either been Creed Chavez or Tavan Lozada has been the favorite receivers for Zach Martinez. Still a 25-0 ball game. We're just starting the second half here as the Hilltoppers kicked off to St. Michael's to start the second half. And so the Hilltoppers right now, they've actually got five defensive linemen up there. And so we're going to have a penalty, and there goes the umpire. He didn't even wait for the referee.
No, that was a false start, but umpire, 2 steps ahead of the referee. No doubt about it. He does not waste any time. Interestingly enough, Gene, if I'm not mistaken, we're the officiating crew. We're playing without a back judge here. Or they're calling it without a back judge. I don't see one.
Yeah, they don't have one. The line judge is kind of playing both positions, and so they give it to Jacobs. And so Marcus Leba, they give it to Leba. Leba breaks a couple of tackles, and he's going to move it down inside the 15-yard line. And so Hayden Jorgensen in on the tackle along with Kyle Evanhus.
We have a topper down around the 35-yard line. Can't see who it is, but he is still down, being attended to by St. Mike's trainers.
So right now we've got Mike 9:38 remaining here in the third quarter, and it's still a 25-0 ball game. But St. Michael's right now on the move after a nice run by Marcus Leba. Had 4 touchdowns last week against Santa Fe, And Zach Martinez, he had something like 140 yards passing. They just simply dominated that ball game. And it was never a contest. And of course, this week, it's been hardly a contest here against Los Alamos. And Mike was talking to the players, is still down for Los Alamos, and the down tending to him. Let's see, it
might be Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the number. It's 66. Yeah, you're right, Zach Schwarzkopf.
So he is leaving the field under his own power. That's always good to see.
Yeah, and that's kind of a big loss for Los Alamos in that line. Zach is he's 5'10", 220 pounds, and he plays right tackle on defense for Los Alamos.
Yeah, he is. He's been steadfast for the Topper lineman corps for some time. So let's hope he can bounce back quickly on here. 9:30 remaining. The clock running. I don't think it should be running, but it is running.
No, it shouldn't be. He's Zach is a nose tackle on defense. I'm sorry, right tackle on offense. But here we go. And plenty of time for Martinez.
Oh, my goodness.
And wide open in the end zone.
Oh, they're going to call him out of bounds.
Unbelievable.
Oh, boy. That was Tavin Lozada. There wasn't anybody within 20 yards of him.
No, he was not.
Martinez could have done anything to him, but it tried to lead him toward the back pylon, and he is not able to keep it in bounds.
Unbelievable.
He didn't have to do anything like that. He could have threw it to him right where he stood.
Well, Martinez had unbelievable blocking. He had all kinds of time back there. And then the pass, like you say, to Lozada and too far to the sideline. Unbelievable. And Lozada couldn't have been any more wide open. They're going to hand it off to Andy Dang around the left side.
Oh!
Whoa, I'm telling you, he just freaking leveled that time Chris Meyer-Dirks. Meyer-Dirks coming in to make the tackle, and he just dropped his shoulder, and he just knocked Meyer-Dirks flying. Wow. So Andy Dang takes it, and
6-yard pickup, and boy, on that hit, Gene, all I can say is dang.
Boy, that is exactly right. Because dang, that was a good hit. And so, anyway, but he ended up picking up about 7 yards. It looked like the run was better, but it was a nice run by Andy Dang. And they're giving it to him a little now. They're going to fake it to Dang. Give it to Lebo. Lebo right up the middle. Is he in?
Yes.
And yes, he is in. Right, they fake it to Dang over the left side, and on the delay, they hand it to Marcus Leba. Leba goes straight up the middle, and nobody's able to pull him down. Breaks a tackle about the 5, and then into the end zone for the score. So here we go again. So let's see if Creed's they've had a lot of trouble with a point after. Creed puts this one up. That looks awfully good, and is.
That's a solid kick. That is the only chink in the armor so far for the Horsemen has kind of been their special teams, but that was a nice looking kick.
It really was, and so that makes it now 32-0 with 8:10 remaining here in the third quarter. And like I say, we're approaching the high school mercy rule, which is if a team leads by 35 at any time in the second half, it goes to a running clock. If the team reaches a 50-point lead any time in the second half, the game is over. So you can get 75 points in the first half, but of course the second half would never start. But you can run up all the points you want in the first half. Anyway, a fake kick. So I have no idea why they do that. Anyway, they were faking an onside kick. So now they line up in their regular formation. And so here comes Creed Chavez. And this time it's a kind of a short kick again, picked up at the 20-yard line and running backwards.
Oh, boy.
All the way back to the 10. And picking that ball up that time was Kyle Ebenhus. And he picked it up at the 20. He was on the left side of the field, decided to go to the right side of the field. He had great pursuit by St. Michael, so they kept driving Kyle back, trying to outrun him and turn the corner. He couldn't outrun him, and he actually ran all the way back to the 10-yard line, hoping to be able to turn the corner. Was never able to.
They're going to give him the 14. I thought he was dropped closer to the 10.
Oh, yes.
But anyway, still backed up once again are the Toppers. 8:01 remaining, 32-0 in favor of St. Mike's.
So we have Stidham back there, and going to give it to come around the right side, and that's going to be Nico Garcia. So Nico, who played all of the second half last week against Capital in place of Teak Nieto, and he gets a handoff, gets some nice blocking over on the right side, and he's able to turn it upfield. Nice gain as he gets it up to the 36-yard line. First down for Los Alamos.
Biggest play of the afternoon for Los Alamos. This next one is not.
Well, they were trying I think that was supposed to be a draw, but very badly. It was either a draw or some kind of a delay, but all they ended up doing was they had Nico next to Stidham, and so they got it to Stidham. Stidham and Nico just kind of stood there next to each other. Then he shoved it in Nico's gut, and then Nico got tackled. And that's all there was to it. So going to be second down now and about 13. And the ball right now is at the 33-yard line. It's still in Hilltopper territory. Stidham fakes it to Nico, rolling to his right, going to pass it upfield, and the pass is low. They're trying to get it to Kenny Suazo. Did Kenny trap it? Or, yeah,
I believe he did, yeah.
It was low. Kenny went down for it, but
nearly came up with it, just about an inch too low there for Suazo. So it'll be third down and long for Los Alamos. Back to the draw play, Gene. The Horsemen had too much penetration initially when they gave the ball to Garcia. He was already swallowed up.
Yes, he was. Stidham fakes a handoff. Stidham rolling to his right, and he's going to be sacked. So he just barely gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So, and plus a yard. So it's going to be fourth down and 9. So the Hilltoppers will have to kick it away. And the ball at the 37-yard line in Hilltopper territory.
Here comes a punt, and these have been exciting today.
So he boots it away. And where's the flag? We got a push in the back by Creed. I mean, he just shoved Kenny Suazo in the back. Referee looking right at it. And then, interestingly enough, Creed runs over to Kenny, and the two shake hands. But that was a clear block in the back, but no call. So where we are, Mike, we're at the 37-yard line. Yeah, 37-yard line, and it's going to be first and 10 for St. Michael's, leading in this ballgame 32-0 with 6.5 minutes to go in quarter number 3.
And Gene, worst news of all today, I did not win the 50-50.
Oh, that really hurts.
That hurts. That's
dang, that hurts. So comes to Evan Martinez. He's going to Marcus Leyba. Leyba's still going, and he crosses the 50-yard line and into Hilltopper territory. Boy, nice run. Handoff, a simple handoff. Nothing fancy. Just right smack up the middle. and he just broke a couple of tackles and just kept going, and he moved it up to the 49-yard line of Los Alamos. So 1st and 10 from the Hilltopper 49, and St. Michael's rolls out as the sun comes out a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful day here in northern New Mexico. And so long count this time by Martinez, and he hands it off, little inside handoff, and this one's gonna go to Jake Katko, who's lined up back in there, who lined up back with him back in the spread formation. So Jake, who's usually a quarterback, he's using him as a running back right now, and they hand it to Jacob. Jacob picks up about 3 yards on the play and gets it up to the 46-yard line, and it's going to be 2nd down and about 7.
5.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 32-0 in favor of the St. Michael's Horsemen.
Yes. So in motion, they put Creed, and they're going to hand it up straight up the middle again to Leyba. And Marcus Leyba is going to pick up the first down as he moves it. I do believe he got the first down as he moved it up to around the 37, 38-yard line. So they put it down. They're going to put it down on the 39. So that's enough for the first down. So it's 1st and 10 from the Hilltopper 39. As we here in the third quarter, we have exactly 5 minutes to go, and now the clock is moving. So it's a 32-0 ball game in favor of St. Michael's, who have completely dominated this ball game, completely. So if they fake the handoff, rolling to his left, Martinez, he's got a man open downfield trying to get it to Andy Dang, and he can't get it to him. Let me correct that receiver. That receiver actually was Lucas Gourlay. But long pass again down almost to the goal line, and they had a good chance to pull that one in.
Gourlay had half a step, too, and that would have been that. I think that gets in the end zone, but not able, just a hair too high.
Yeah, 2nd down, the ball's still at the 39-yard line of the Hilltoppers. So in the backfield now they got lined up. They have, Jake Katko's not in the lineup, not in the backfield again. They've got Leyba and Andy Dang back there. They give it to Leyba. Leyba right. He just goes right smack up the middle. And I mean, right smack up the middle. And then he's hit and brought down for the Hilltoppers, that time by Kyler Young. So Kyler Young makes a stop, but not before. Marcus Leyba picks up a first down, the nose of the ball, right smack at the 25-yard line of the Hilltoppers. St. Michael's on the move. As the Hilltoppers had to kick off to St. Michael's to start the second half. St. Michael's a methodical drive down the field to score, and now they're at it again. So 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, and they come back in. They're gonna, and they're on a, they fake the handoff, and then on a little reverse, they give it over to Creed Chavez. Chavez is in the end zone for the touchdown. So they faked the handoff off the middle, and then Creed lined up on the right side, and then he came around after the fake handoff, and they just gave it to him, and he went around the left side, and essentially, I don't think anybody laid a finger on him.
I'm not sure they did, no. So the Horsemen actually did look like they got away with a bit of a hold on the edge, but Creed Chavez just kind of zigs and zags his way into the end zone from.
So Creed.
What was that? Well, suffice it to say the kick was no good. I have absolutely no idea what happened. That ball went straight up in the air.
It really did.
That was a pop fly.
He had that other one where he had that other one, lined it up, and he kicked it like 10 yards in the air. And this one, essentially the same thing. I think it went straight up in the air and floated to the left. But been a strange point after game. They've only converted twice, and
weirdly enough, the two they made were fine looking kicks.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
And the other ones, you don't know what's going to happen when he kicks it. So, but in any event, 38-0. So that will kick in the first phase of the Mercy Rule with 3:54 remaining here in the third quarter. So we will have a running clock. The clock will run except for timeouts and injuries.
Yeah, and then anything that the officials decide they should stop the clock for, but more normally incomplete passes, run out of bounds, that kind of thing. Sometimes on penalties they'll stop it, but it's pretty much so the kickoff is going to go out of bounds, and they're not going to start the clock. They're going to start the clock when Los Alamos finally makes their first move.
Yeah, this is actually very much the discretion of the officials when they run it and when they don't. They could have theoretically started to run it as soon as he kicked the ball, but that's going to end up on the 35-yard line for Los Alamos after the kick goes out of bounds. That is an illegal procedure penalty.
Yeah, they can take it at the 35, or they can take it where it went out of bounds, or they can have to kick it over with a 5-yard penalty. Most of them just take it on the 35. So we see if Hilltoppers can get something going. They fake the handoff, and then they give it coming in from the left side to the right side. They give it to Teak Nieto, and Nieto is going to pick up about 8, maybe 8. Let's see where they're going to spot him down. They're discussing it.
They're going to give him about 7. I mean, meantime, one of the horsemen is down.
Yes, we have a horseman down, and I think they're going to spot the thing down around the 41 or 42. Looks like the 42. So that'll be a 7-yard gain, and it'll be second down and 3 as they tend to the horseman. Next week, Hilltopper homecoming, as the Hilltoppers will take on Milwaukee in Los Alamos. That'll be on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Of course, the homecoming parade in the afternoon. A very, very popular parade in Los Alamos. And those usually start at 2 or 3 o'clock. And I'm not sure where they're going to go. They got Central Avenue all blocked off. And then as we were coming up here, they are also blocking off one lane of Trinity. Pretty soon, we're not going to be able to get in or out of Los Alamos.
Yeah, I'm not. There's no place to go, and that's actually Jacob Akatko that was shaken up on the last play. He's walking off under his own power.
So the Hilltoppers will get it. There's that swing pass, and I don't know if he caught it, he lost yardage. So did they really catch it? I think they did. Kyle Evanhus.
Yeah, he's gonna lose about 3-4 yards on the catch.
No, they're gonna rule it an incomplete pass.
Oh, actually, that was the best thing that could happen for the Toppers there.
Yes, absolutely, because they lost yardage on that one. So now it's going to bring it now 3rd and 3 for Los Alamos. Swing pass to the left to Evan Huss, and he's hit immediately at the 39-yard line. So they're going to lose yardage on this one.
Wow. And the Toppers have been working the sideline this entire ball game, and they have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, and they haven't worked the middle of the field. I think Mike said, like you said, Mike, that one pass where they picked up the biggest gain they have picked up so far, but they have stayed away from the middle of the field. And so now it's I
think they're going for it.
Yeah, they might as well.
Yeah, there's no point in not going for it at this point. So 4th and about 6 for Los Alamos.
So they put Teak in the slot on the left side, and Stitt in the back, they're all by himself.
And Toppers will call a timeout here. A very strategic timeout with 2:11 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah,
down only by 7 touchdowns. So, or I'm sorry, 5 touchdowns.
Yes, 5 touchdowns, and
and a couple of 2-point conversions. So the Toppers, 2:11 remaining, and the Toppers have really tried to work this season, on their short passing, quick passing game. And we have seen that when it is running well, it is very, very effective. They have some good open field runners on the edges. Unfortunately, today, the Horsemen have been have completely taken that away. And there has just been nothing there. There is nothing going toward the sideline. The Horsemen have been contesting everything that's been out to the side.
Well, yeah, and the sideline passes has not been successful at all. So now they decide they're going to punt it away. So they bring back Hayden Jorgensen, and Jorgensen, he's going to pass it downfield, and it's almost caught. So he fakes the punt and gets it up to Kenny Suazo. Suazo is across the 45-yard line, which is where he needed to be, and he couldn't hang on. They had the first down. They had it, and they dropped the ball.
And not a bad pass there from Jorgensen, just could not hang on. Yeah, that would have been good for a first down. And I was wondering, after the timeout, if the Toppers had decided to change tacks and actually kick it, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But
so it's so the ball is at the 39-yard line of the Hilltoppers. 1st and 10 for St. Michael's. Zach Martinez still the quarterback, and he's going to give it to Andy Dang around the left side. The inside handoff to Dang, who went in motion, and then Dang is going to be wrestled down for the Hilltoppers by Chris Meyer-Dirks. Chris Meyer-Dirks brings him down after he picks up about 5 yards or 4 yards on the play. He'll make it 2nd and 6. Yeah, we can.
In the event, we have a little
we're
background.
Picking up something. I don't know what. I think we can hear what's going on over in Los Alamos. Anyway, so Marcus Leba takes a handoff, comes over the left side, and Charlene, if that's not you talking, we can hear you.
So that'll do it here for the third quarter, and the Horsemen up 38-0 over the Toppers. We're going to switch sides, so it'll be 3rd down for the Horsemen when we come back. 3rd down about a long 4. And we will let's see if we can kill the background noise there. We will see. I'm not quite sure what was going on, but in any event, again, continues to be all Horsemen all the time here at Brother Abden Field, 38-0, and we are in the first phase of the Mercy Rule. And Gene, so this 4th quarter will take approximately 12 minutes.
Yes, it's not going to take very long. So the Hilltoppers, St. Michael's has it, 1st 10, 1st down at the Hilltopper 34-yard line, and they have in the way that Horsemen moving the ball, they have a chance to make it to 50, which would end this ball game. So still with Zach Martinez back at quarterback. He's been there the entire game. And high snap. He goes high in the air, gets it over to Creed on the left side. Chavez trying to go down the left sideline. And then the Hilltoppers double up on him. And so coming over and making the stop for the Hilltoppers was Abraham Sanchez. And helping him out that time was Kyle Evenhuss.
Abraham been very busy today.
Yes, he has.
He's had to be on about 4 or 5 tackles, which I don't think the Toppers were hoping from his spot that far out.
Yeah, 23-yard line right now, 1st and 10 once again for the Horsemen. Joy Hernandez usually mixes things up with a different set, but he's used the same set the entire ballgame. He's run the pistol a couple of times, and it's going to go straight up the middle again. It's going to go to Marcus Leba, and Leba making the stop for Los Alamos that time. Coming over was for Los Alamos, and what was the Elijah Alvarez.
Little surprised Joey Fernandez elected to keep most of his starters in at this point.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't quite understand that either. He still has Andy Dang there standing next to him as a blocking back or a tailback. Marcus Leba is a fullback behind him. Marcus gets the handoff, straight made up the middle. Boy, huge hole right in the middle of that line.
And actually, Gene, I think we have they did actually switch up the back. I believe that was actually Isaiah Dominguez, freshman. And
you're right.
In for Leba, which is good, but still most of the starters out there for the Horsemen. 9:55 remaining.
Yeah, they got to dang, and you're right now. That's right. It's Isaiah Dominguez is back there in that Leba spot, and Isaiah gets it again. Boy, nice cut by Isaiah, coming right back up the middle, and then he suddenly, on a dime, he cut it over right guard into a wide open hole, and then he moves it down inside the 10-yard line to the 9, so it's going to be 1st and goal, or they still have the chance to make a 1st down. That's right.
Yeah, they do, but a couple of nice runs there by Dominguez. Going between the tackles, and he's going to check out again. So he's just a freshman, so he isn't allowed to score.
No, they're going to bring Leba back in.
He's going back to the meat squad.
So they had 3 receivers out to the right and a couple out to the left, and they have Leba behind Martinez to give it to Leba. And
oh boy,
like you say, good job Isaiah for getting us down to the 2-yard line. And have a seat, son. And we'll let Marcus Leba score the touchdown. It looks better than in Mexican, I guess, to say Leba has X number of touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
you don't get, like I said, when you're a freshman, you're not allowed to score.
No, you're not.
Even if you're wide open the 1-yard line, you need to take a knee. That's your job.
You really do. You don't want them to get overconfident. So let's see what Creed can do here. So Jacob Hikatko holding, and nice kick again. So here we go, Mike. 45-0 and 8:55 remaining in this contest.
Yep. So four yards out for Leba, and that is his 2nd touchdown of this second half. So. Yeah, 45-0, 8:55 remaining. If the Horsemen can punch it in once again, this ball game will be over.
Yes, it will. Right there, they don't even have to go for the extra point.
No, it takes all the drama out of this contest. But 8:55 left, and for the Horsemen, this has been kind of a clinic today.
Oh yes, has it ever?
So this is going to be. The Horsemen are going to be once again a serious contender in AAA this year.
Oh, yeah.
This is a solid looking football team.
Yeah, and they, I'm telling you, they have 100% dominated this game, offense and defense. And the Hilltoppers just have not been able to do anything. And I'm not even sure what our deepest penetration was, but wasn't much. So there's a squib kick, and that's going to be picked up at the 35-yard line. And that one was picked up for the Hilltoppers by Seth Cowan. So Cowan gets it back. Well, he picked it up to 35, and they're going to spot it down at the 30, whatever, somewhere.
37, 38 maybe.
Well, 38. So you drop it down to the 38-yard line, first and 10 for Los Alamos.
And again, Gene, the other officials were trying to figure out where the ball was. The umpire knew exactly where it was. He didn't need to wait for anybody to figure out where the ball was going. He put it right down on the 38-yard line. So let's go. He doesn't have all day.
I know. You guys can just talk about it all you want, but it's done. There's a pass right back to the line of scrimmage over toward the left side. The pass was pass to Hayden Jorgensen. And so he picks up a couple of yards up to the 40. So it was just a pass, it was like over to Jorgensen, and he just ran about 2 or 3 steps to his left and right at the line of scrimmage. He'll hand it off around the left side, and we're going to pick up a first down as the ball carrier that time for Los Alamos. And that's Kyle Evanhus.
I think he's taken over under center now. I think Stidham's afternoon is completed.
Yeah, they've got Evanhus back there. And I think that's and Nico Garcia, yes. And they were the combination that played the second half against Capital. Goes to Nico. Nico's on a first down is going to go straight up the middle. He's going to pick up 5 yards on the play as he moves it up to the 47-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Los Alamos. And looking at the clock right now, it's 6:42. The clock running. 45-0 ball game right now. All St. Michael's from the get-go, as they say. So here's a little quarterback draw by Evanhus, and he's going to pick up the first down. So Evanhus back there all by himself, and then he just took like one little half step backwards and then took off up the middle and picks up the first down. So he moves it up to the 41-yard line. That's enough for the first. 1st and 10 from the St. Michael's 41. Hilltoppers on the move. So now you're going to give it to Nico Garcia. Garcia right up the middle. He's going to pick up 2 or 3 yards. Give him 3. A 2nd down and 7 for Los Alamos. And the ball right now at the 38-yard line of St. Michael's. Hilltoppers coming out in a hurry. In motion goes Kenny Suazo. They're going to give it to Kenny around the left side. And Kenny is just wrestled down. I mean, single lone tackle that time by Angel Montoyo. So Angel he just ran over there to the sideline and made the tackle all by himself, no problem. So no gain on the play. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7, or 3rd down and 7, I do believe. Yes. And the ball at the 39-yard line. Evanhus with the pass, trying to get it over in the right sideline. And it was intended for Hayden Jorgensen. But, okay, that brings up 4th down. So, fake punt.
That should have worked last time.
Yes, it should have.
They had all the pieces together, just could not pull in the pass. But Topper's in the shotgun here.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. 4th and
gutsy call here, Gene. Rolling the dice.
Yes, he is. Dropping back, screen pass. That's going to be complete up across the 35-yard line. But not enough for the first down. So they got a screen pass up to Nico Garcia. And Nico got it up across the 35 to, let's see where they're going to put it down on the 34, I believe. Yes. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for St. Michael's from their own 34. There's 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. This clock is rolling. And so it's a matter now of the Joy Fernandez he could probably just kneel this thing out. And
Martinez still out there
with a running clock.
He doesn't look like he's planning to kneel this out, Jane.
Did we tick off old Joy Fernandez for some reason, or gonna rub it in big time?
I don't like this for numerous reasons.
No, I don't either. And I'm going to give it to Isaiah. Isaiah coming around the left side, and then he's wrapped up and brought down for the Hilltoppers by Akeem Elijah. But around the left side that time was Isaiah Dominguez, the freshman, and he does not pick up the first down as he gets it up to about the 38-yard line, and the clock moving here at 2:45 and running.
Dominguez, not a bad runner, actually.
No, he's done a pretty good job for a freshman.
For a freshman, you know.
But he's not allowed to score any touchdowns.
No, he's not.
No way. There's a bad snap, and the quarterback. We have a new quarterback back there for St. Michael's, and and let's see, that's Kamal Stith. And
he's a freshman as well, and he is not a big guy. He's a pretty short guy.
Yes, he is. And so it was a high snap, very high snap. He had a lot of trouble bringing it down. So no gain on the play as it's back, and now it's 3rd down and 10. The ball at the 34-yard line. And what's the clock say? 150 and counting. So Stith dropping the pass, and the pass is going to be incomplete across the 45-yard line, still in St. Michael's territory.
That must have been dropped. I thought that hit him pretty well. That was, let's see, that was Lozada again. I thought he caught it. He must have lost it on the way to the ground.
Yeah, apparently so, because it was a good pass and a good catch, but
then he realized that a freshman threw it, so he could not catch it.
No, don't catch it. Don't let the freshman have a complete pass. So all right, so Creed Chavez back to punt it away, and with 55 seconds to go, Chavez punts it. Nice punt. It's going to be taken around the 30-yard line by the Hilltoppers, and that's going to be Chris Meyer-Dirks. And so Chris Meyer-Dirks moves it up to about the 43-yard line.
If the Toppers hurry, they can get one, maybe two plays off. They still have all their timeouts. Let's see what they want to do. I'm sorry, they only have 2 timeouts, but
30 seconds ago, they're not stopping the clock on the change of possession.
They need to hurry,
which is what they normally do, but the Hilltoppers don't even need to run a play, which I don't think I would bother with 15 seconds to go. Right now, it's a 45-0, and the Hilltoppers are going to run the play with 8 seconds. They do run the final play of the game, and the quarterback is massacred. So
that's going to do it. And I think that was Joseph Sanchez for the horseman that got there first, but there was no shortage of people all over Evan Huss.
Yeah, he was buried. I mean, buried. And that's the only problem, when you're running the last play of the game. That's a good time for like Evan Huss or somebody to get hurt. I mean, take a knee, for God's sake. I don't understand the philosophy sometimes.
Well, you only get one 46-point attempt in the season, so the Toppers should have. I mean, trying to burn it there, just could not quite get it done. But wow, that was if the Horsemen were trying to make a statement, they made it today. That was impressive.
Boy, I tell you, it was impressive. Yeah, I mean, they had a great offense. They did a great job running that ball and moving that ball. But the defense was just, Los Alamos, it was just impenetrable. Los Alamos could not do anything against that defense. I mean, their pursuit was fantastic. Their pass defense, everything. on the runs. I mean, they're swarming tackles all the time, and like Los Alamos covering one of the swing passes, they had those covered. I mean, perfectly. Even if Los Alamos had completed the swing passes, which they dropped a lot of them, even if they had completed them, they were going to be covered by St. Michael's. St. Michael's. I mean, Joy Fernandez. He had every square inch of this field covered somehow on defense. It was phenomenal. So anyway, Mike, next week, Milwaukee homecoming, and so the Hilltoppers will go up against Milwaukee at Sullivan Field. That will be at 7:00. It will be on the air about 6:30 or so with the Garrett Williams pregame show. It's going to be interesting to see what Garrett has to say about this ball game. Anyway, so Mike, final score, let's see, 45-0, and the running clock. So Mike, final thoughts.
Well, I tell you what, as we were saying before we went on the air, just really was not quite sure if the Horsemen were for real. They, obviously buried the Santa Fe Demons last week, but it's hard to know really how much you can take out of that. I tell you what, the Horsemen are absolutely 100% for real. Everything was working for them. Their offense, moving the ball very, very effectively. They moved it in several different ways, but clearly this St. Michael's defense is a juggernaut. The Toppers just really could not do much of anything. And the defense just absolutely smothered Los Alamos. And we know Los Alamos has good speed on the edges. The Horsemen matched that step for step today. Absolutely taking it right to the Toppers and beating the Toppers at their own game on the edges. So that was a very, very impressive performance by the Horsemen. And, things just, Toppers just could not get anything going today. So, like I said, the Horsemen once again are going to be very much a factor come the playoffs this year. That was a very, very impressive performance for the Toppers. I'm not sure what you do at this point. The Toppers may have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Just the way their strength on the edges, that was completely snuffed out today. That the Toppers may have to look at that and say, do they have to change up tactics a little bit? I don't know, but in any event, the Toppers have a lot to think about, and the Horsemen, Gene, very, very good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, impressive is the word. And I mean, impressive. Wow. I mean, I just have to say, man, they are a great football team. Offense, defense, everything. Joey Fernandez has done a fantastic job with this team, and I wish them all the luck as they head to the playoffs once again. And they, like Mike says, they'll be a very strong contender for that championship. So that will do it for us. Final score 45-0, and the ball game ended up in the running clock mercy rule. But we had a lot of fun bringing the ball game. It was a nice day, beautiful afternoon here in Santa Fe. So this is Gene Mortensen for Mike Mays and John McHale and Nate Limbach and Charlene McHale, all of the crew. I want to thank Carol Clark of the Daily Post for making all this possible. And so the Daily Post stepping up for the community and for Los Alamos High School sports to give us the opportunity to bring you these ball games. So that will do it. And so have a great weekend, everybody, and you can make it an even better weekend. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug your penguin. And the most important thing that you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And Sweetie Pie, I miss you, honey. Miss you a lot. But I love you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.